It's 2023 and
Yay!
we're back. Hello, sorry, it's been a little while. We've been taking a slightly extended break.
We needed a mental break.
Yeah, never underestimate the value of mental health, and that's our first tip for 2023, I guess. But the rest of the video is full of things that we think are going to happen in 2023 too.
Yeah.
Every year we make some wild predictions about where we think the furry fandom is going to go, what's going to happen.
Sometimes we've been right.
Yeah, last year we were quite good. We guessed everyone would fall in love with Mr. Wolf, but I mean, take one look at him. You know why.
Well, yeah. But we didn't know the film was going to be that good.
So once again, we've looked into our magical crystal ball.
Yeah, it's broken, but
we brought it on eBay. What can we say? And basically, we've made some predictions on what we think we're going to see in the fandom in 2023. So how many of these will we get right? Will you agree with them? I don't know. There's a comment box below. You can always yell at us if you think we're really wrong. But anyway, right. So let's get this started.
Let's do it.
What's our first prediction for 2023?
Here we go.
This was heating up in 2022, let's face it.
Big time. With all those AI-generated websites and so forth.
Getting a bit dodgy. A lot of websites kind of introducing AI functionality. DeviantArt, I know, did it.
Did they? I didn't know that myself.
Fair Affinity seemed to have steered away from AI art yet. I think there's some policies on it, but, things change like the wind over that place. But this is something, AI art has its place. It's got its use.
It does, and it's an artist friend of mine once said that using AI art is a great way of kind of coming up with ideas, coming up with positions, coming up with backgrounds and so forth.
But not using it.
And then not using it, but using it as inspiration.
This is the thing. I think if it's used respectfully...
Very useful for that.
If it's used respectfully, I think AI art can be great. But unfortunately, the world has a habit of not doing that. And
no.
I think there's going to be some nasty shit with
it's called
AI
fast tracking. Fast tracking everything.
But I think if you are joining the fandom and you just want some inspiration as to what your character could look like, I actually think this is a good starting point. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you rocked up to an artist and said, look, I haven't got a ref sheet, I'm new to the fandom, but I've generated some pictures of my wolf character here. This is what he looks like. He's got a mohawk.
I was just about to say we have a friend who's done that, who's actually used that to generate his character.
I'm pretty sure an artist would turn around and say, well, that's a good starting point. I'm not going to obviously copy that because that is AI art, but thanks for the help. And
it's helpful.
But it gives you an idea of where to go. So, AI art, that is, we're not going to hear the end of that one, and that's going to
that's not going away anytime soon anymore.
Unlike NFTs, which fortunately, NFTs did seem to fuck off largely.
They've calmed down, thank Christ.
Oh dear, right, what's next? And talking of things that aren't calming down, the world is slowly getting back to normal. Whatever your opinions on that thing that happened for those years, which I can't say because YouTube still demonetizes you and whatever. So
time.
People are back. People are going to cons again. They're getting busier. MFF. We went to
MFF last year. It was fantastic, and you could almost
back to being busy again.
Almost believe it was back to normal.
And Confuzzled. That has a lottery. Absolutely insane, that one. So many people didn't get a room.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. And this is a sign of how things are now.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be a bit more prepared, plan, think ahead when thinking to go to furry conventions.
Yeah, and be flexible, I think, is one of the things that we definitely realised this year.
Expect crowds.
Crowds.
I mean, I understand it's easier to be flexible in, say, America, where you've got loads of cons. Versus the UK, where you've not got that many.
Well, we got free.
We do have a lot of furry stuff, so there's options for furry stuff, but flexibility is the key word there, I think. Now.
Flexibility is where to go.
And you've just got to kind of. It's funny actually. Artemis did a great video on how to handle not getting into a furry con. Actually, put a link on that one.
Yeah, it's a really good video.
I think it's actually some good advice there. So
very good advice.
That out. But furry cons are going to get busier. So yay. Furry movies. We always like to talk about furry movies. Obviously, last year we had the ones that are turning red, which people did seem to forget about quite quickly.
It's just weird, isn't it? Because we kind of almost said that Turning Red might be the one that was bigger than Bad Guys, and it's actually turned out to be the other way around.
It didn't quite cause the explosion of red pandas we thought.
No.
Mr. Wolf, on the other hand, and Bad Guys.
Oh boy!
Woohoo, spicy.
Just a bit.
That one. Yeah.
Something for everyone, I think, is what basically the bad guys was.
I mean, I don't know whether you should use E621 as a measurement of how popular a furry movie is in the fandom, but I think it's a good scale.
I don't think you need to, though. You could just go on AliExpress and so forth and see the amount of merchandise that suddenly appeared.
Oh, yeah, merchandise is one thing, but that's for normies as well. I mean, I'm talking about
just
furry
about.
You know, if you say E621, if you see how many pages one's got of the other, I think that's a way of measuring it. So, I mean, this year, we did a video on films to look out for this year. There's a link to that on the screen now as well. I'm not going to go through all that again. That was like a 25-minute video.
Oh, yeah, that was a long video.
I think the big ones for us, we think are going to kind of really groundbreak the fandom. Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Finally going into Rocket's backstory, and finally, we get to see his girlfriend after all this time.
I don't know if you hitting the table there caused some microphone problems.
Oh, sorry.
So, sorry, people at home and headphone listeners. But basically, I think we're going to see some more Otter stuff. You know, because of...
Large explosion of Otter stuff.
And hopefully more Raccoon stuff, because, you know, Rocket, yay.
Yeah.
After a fairly lackluster and so-solely okay Christmas special for the Guardians. But I'm looking forward to it.
It wasn't bad. I didn't mind it.
You know,
Kevin Bacon was funny.
It's true. You know, Kevin Bacon, I think, now is a furry icon. But anyway, we've also got the Mario movie. Now, this one we were all very quick to trash, but you know, Bowser. Oh my God, yes.
Oh yeah, there's going to be so much Bowser odd.
Yeah, basically, we're expecting maybe the E621 servers and even Furry Fandom
to
crash
close
when this comes out, just because of the sheer amount of artwork that's submitted to it.
Yep, it's going to be absolutely through the roof. But we're looking forward to this. You know.
I mean, there's a lot of people probably saying, "Oh, Mario, it's all sweet and innocent." Yeah, no seriously, I'm not even going to go down that route. But expect a lot of Bowser this year.
A lot of Bowser.
I look forward to
Bowser Day is going to be fun.
I look forward to that. Then, of course, we've got the new Transformers movie, which you're making me include, because obviously you're a massive Transformers fan.
I am a massive Transformers fan. Yes, Rise of the Beast is coming out this year, finally, after a massive delay. And, yes, we're going to get to see Cheetor and Optimus Primal and Rhinox and all the others actually be on the big screen. And anybody who's a mech fan and loves their transforming robots and so forth.
I wonder if we'll see any kind of things crossover between fursuits and character design from that. You know?
Oh, that would be interesting. That would be a very difficult suit to make. But
Rise of Cybernetics, you know.
Yay! I haven't got a problem with any of that.
It's going to be an interesting year in film, but I think we've got a couple of good ones coming up. It could be a good year. I think last year was still better. But that's a hunch. What's next? Right, well, I had to include this one, and given how quickly things change over at that place, this might be completely out of date before I've even finished editing it.
Yeah.
Our dear old musky friend, you know, he likes tweaking with Twitter. Obviously, if you've been living in a cupboard in the dark, long story short, rich man buys company, messes a lot with it, mass exodus to alternative platforms.
Plays with it like a giant toy.
You know how this works. Mastodon, I'm on Mastodon. My Mastodon's there.
Yeah, I'm on Mastodon as well.
You need a profile picture, though. So,
I do. Sorry.
But, you know, this could be the year that every furry migrates from Twitter, because let's face it, if you go on Twitter, it is a very happening place for furries.
It is, yeah.
We hate it. We love it.
We hate it. We love it.
It's one of those things. And honestly, I'm going to be totally honest with you. My expectations is we're still going to be like this next year.
Yep, the shifting sands are going to keep on moving.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The way things work, things could change in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
And we could all end up having to leave Twitter.
There could be a third one.
Well, you know, I mean, who knows? But Mastodon seems to be where a lot of furries are headed, but it's still so fragmented and a mess. Just because there's a lack of a unified place for furries to go.
Yep.
Bark might be the closest thing for that.
Yeah, I think we're always lucky with things like Telegram that kind of accepted.
Telegram can't be like Twitter because it just doesn't have an ongoing feed.
No, I know.
You know, and again, it's like artists really rely on Twitter to, you know, I mean, the amount of artists I've learned off from Twitter.
Yeah.
I just don't think you can get there. But, you know, we'll see.
We'll see.
I think that's going to be kind of, I think we're still going to be here next year, but, you know, this could be like the prediction. I'm incredibly wrong. And, you know, this leads us into our final suggestion of what we might see next year. And this might relate, actually, to the fact that we're all fed up with billionaires buying up things.
Yep.
This is the revergence of the 2000s. I saw the term normcore fashion being chucked around on the internet. And that's basically people kind of focusing on NPC-style 2000s fashion, where backgroundy people, and the revergence of things like Flickr and blogging. I think it could be hip to be 2000s.
And in our case, that would mean like IRC, the resurgence of Second Life coming back.
You know,
maybe even 2000 style fursuits. Now that's an interesting one.
That'd be an interesting
retro fursuits.
You know, 2000 is
cool,
now
actually.
2000 is now 23 years ago. So yes, it's very much retro.
Plaid.
Which you know, that's depressing. Being someone who was born in the 80s. You know, and you know, people might start blogging again. Probably not LiveJournal. If you don't know why, just Google why people don't use LiveJournal. I'm not going to go into that one.
And I came up with a good idea, didn't I? Where it's basically a 2000s retro YouTube. So a kind of another website that would just be not YouTube, but would only do 260p videos. 240p videos.
Yeah, lo-fi.
Only do it in your bedroom. You can't use anything other than a normal webcam, and everything has to be kind of like shonky, one take, no editing, no background music, nothing.
I can see that being a massive hit with the. Well,
I really can, actually.
I say that. I mean, we live in a universe where people
Love
fight
that
each
idea.
other in a supermarket over a crappy energy drink. But,
Oh, and
you know,
Flash animation style videos.
Yeah, we can't have Flash because Flash is dead, thank God.
Be a good place to put them.
But, you know, Flash style animations, you know, get ready for the return and the sequel to Badger, Badger, Badger.
There is one.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
2023 Badger, Badger, Badger.
Yeah.
But I can see this happening. I mean, WebM is a reasonable format to make dodgy Flash-style animations in, and I just think we might get things like forums back as well. And this will probably tie into the fact that we're having to look at alternatives, things like Twitter and Facebook, because people are finally getting fed up with the idea that these people run everything and just trash everything overnight. So,
I miss videos that weren't like, you know,
so it's kind of like the new hipsters, the new furry hipster styles. But there we are. Yeah, that's the most wacky idea, but I don't know. There's something I quite like about this 2000 normcore thing.
Me too.
You know, I love the word, but there we are. So those are our predictions for this year. You know, what do you think is going to be happening this year in the furry fandom? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to turn on that shiny notification bell to find out when new videos drop. Which should be roughly every week, although we're going to be a little bit... we're going to be taking a week off every month this year.
Yeah.
Because, again, 2023 is the year of mental health, but I'll be sharing more details about all that. But don't worry, we're going to have lots more videos. We've got lots of things planned for this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a link to our Patreon below. Again, thank you to all our patrons for the support last year. We couldn't do this without you.
Thank you guys, honestly.
And yeah, no, thank you. I really appreciate this.
Thanks for sticking with us.
I'm Shadow Raccoon.
And I'm Theodore Rabbit.
We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.